Coming up on this episode of Lust to Dust.
And your dad's like, this pair of lips will do.
Welcome back to From Lust to Dust, my horny dead dad.
Podcast where we read our dead dad's sex book.
I'm Brett Dodenhoff.
I'm Connor Dodenhoff.
Today we got a special guest, Anderson Gronvold.
Thanks for having me, fellas.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
You listen to the pod?
I'm familiar with the concept.
You know the
and
vibes.
I'm excited because twice divorced dad currently in second pussy getting phase.
Wow.
Yeah, walk us through that a little bit. So parents divorced what era?
Mother, father divorced when I was like 8. My dad gets remarried when I'm in high school. He's married to her for 10 years. They get divorced like 3 years ago.
You like her? Did you like her?
Yeah, I liked her. She was nice.
So she wasn't an evil stepmom.
She was not an evil stepmom. The big problem there was that she had stepkids that my dad did not get along with.
So he was evil stepdad.
He was evil stepdad.
yeah.
Interesting.
You're like, she was great.
Yeah.
I loved them. My dad was
Is your dad like a bit of a tough cookie? in a way?
He's not. I mean, I think it was tough. My dad told me that he was out to dinner with his second ex-wife, and he was like, your sons are the men I raised my daughter to avoid.
Oh, God.
And he told me that
He told your
on the
dad.
phone, and I'm like, so you guys are done? And he's like, I don't know. And then like a month later, yeah.
That was it.
You don't come back from that.
So your dad had this rough, then he gets divorced, and then now he's kind of on Hinge, and he's doing the
Yes.
doing
So
his deed.
now, he moved to Montana. That's like where that side of my family lives randomly. And so he moved to Montana.
Is he Bozeman?
Close, not close actually, but that's a good guess for Montana.
Whitefish.
He's pretty much close to Whitefish.
How's the Hinge situation in Whitefish?
It's just dead.
He probably gets that summer season, though, that's decent, right?
Yeah.
Some
I
hills
mean,
coming in.
But it's
Yeah.
like there's a
Glacier.
lot of pressure on that window.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got
Right.
3 months.
I'm just trying to envision the Hinge in Whitefish, though, because like, what is that population size?
So he technically lives in
bit.
Kalispell, which is 15 minutes from
yeah.
Whitefish. Kalispell is kind of like the more rural, like regular year-round folks. That's probably like, probably like 100,000 people. It's
Oh,
not
okay.
terrible.
Okay, interesting. So 100,000 people on Hinge. I wonder at how quickly you go through.
I think it'd be pretty quick.
Our dad in Charleston, he was still driving 4 or 5 hours to go
Right.
Get
He
some-
went through Mount
some
Pleasant.
tang.
Mount Pleasant, which is about 100,000 people, pretty quickly.
quickly.
Well, as we'll learn in the book today, as we pivot, he opens up the range a little bit, even more, in one chapter
To
we'll read.
include
But we're
men.
gonna
No.
get back into strings of randoms here. This will be our third episode of Strings of Randoms, and the women they've been pretty fucking random, if I have to say. We're coming off an episode Mustang Morgan.
This woman was pretty much just a drifter.
Oh, I just heard about her.
you heard about
30 minutes
Mustang
ago.
Morgan.
Yeah, I mean, she was more or less a vagrant.
Yeah.
I mean, Bob's one step above checking the local soup kitchen in these chapters. So,
Yeah. I mean, that's tell your dad about that. If the church doesn't work, go do some volunteering.
Yeah, right.
yes.
Stupid. I gave you an extra biscuit.
What are you doing later?
What you doing later?
We're gonna get into Goldie today, and I'm seeing another Christmas party for line one.
Didn't we just hit Christmas?
I think Christmas party for that age, it's kind of your one event a year. No one wants to celebrate a 47th birthday, so it's like the parties
Very
are the Christmas, Halloween.
It's true. I also think that Christmas is a good chance where you go, fuck, I'm
Well, you're divorced. If you're divorced at Christmas, what do you have to do?
Yeah.
You're probably not with your family.
Yeah, or you're celebrating with your kids on the 27th of December.
Right.
Yeah.
Christmas at Dad's.
Yeah. Yeah, at Boxing Day, you're celebrating Christmas. It's like,
So we've all been.
all right, let's get into it. We're going to have Goldie today.
And then came another Christmas party, Hank's. Every year you could expect total chaos, lots of great-looking girls, too much alcohol, and overall crazy times. Hank would always hire a bartender and perhaps a cute waitress to serve food, but for some reason he also hired 2 male strippers this year to kick things off.
I don't know where this is going.
That is crazy.
All I'll say is this. Hank, notorious Hank threw some banging parties. Hank's now sober. A man who's sober probably had,
Too good of a time.
a little too good of a time.
Best of all, Hank's house was just a short golf cart ride away, so there wouldn't be any drinking and driving issues.
I like that. That doesn't count. That
Yeah, I like that. That means he will be drinking. He will be driving.
I will be.
His only DUI is if it's behind a car vehicle.
There is this like in the South and in golf cart communities because you know
I lived in one.
yeah
Yeah.
it's the drinking and driving that goes on in those.
It's I don't think you can operate it sober.
No. I
You cannot, and I think the cops, it's a little wink, wink, nod, nod for them. You know, it's like, I get it.
Right.
You know, we'll let you pass.
You don't die. I mean, you can die in a golf cart. I feel like golf cart's actually the perfect thing to be like, give you an injury that you wish you just had gone.
Yeah, that's a broken C5.
Given this, I decided to expand my drinking limits, which usually is never a good idea to begin with. My friend Kyle decided to join me, so we met at my house and then drove the golf cart to the party. My usual friends were there, and everyone seemed to be having a great time. Everyone, except for our friend Chip. Chip had an expression like someone just shot his brand new puppy, as his girlfriend had just dumped him.
You know that feeling.
Yeah.
Our dad, for when he's good at writing, his metaphors are awful.
Yeah.
and like, okay, for instance, if someone shot your brand new puppy, do you think that would be akin to the expression you'd have at a party you weren't having a really good time at?
Looking over there like someone shot your brand new pup. It would be a crazy thing
That's
to
just
say.
wildly misreading people.
Like if someone shot my little puppy in front of me, the expression I'd have on my face.
You might not be there.
Looking over there like you just figured out mama's a pedophile. What are these sayings?
Yeah.
The split happened only a few days before the party, and by all accounts, he had been totally smitten with her. You could tell that Chip was trying to get into the swing of things, but his mind was elsewhere.
All right, we've all been here, you know. You get broken up with, you've had a shitty week, but you still want to get out there and do the party because your friends are telling you to go.
Because you just need to be. But there is that, when someone's fresh off a breakup, trying to talk to them, you can just tell there's no one there.
Yeah.
You know?
And they're trying to act like they have a good time.
You're like, you shouldn't have come.
No.
Honestly.
It is tough where I'm like, I know that this is, but it's a tough,
There wasn't anyone in particular at the party that I was interested in, but I was happy to spot my friend Goldie, an attractive 40-ish divorcee with a charming personality and a very cute figure. At best, Goldie and I had always been just friends. That is until we started dancing during the wee hours of Hank's party.
Wee hours of Hank's party are probably starting to get pretty dope.
Well, I remember we would go as kids, and then I remember someone said the kids have to get out of here because the cocaine starts coming out.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Somebody said that?
Yeah. And I overheard that from an adult, like the cocaine starts coming out at midnight. So get the kids out of there.
If you're sitting there going, I need to kick kids out so I can do coke.
Yeah, you're like, don't these kids have a bedtime?
Yeah, what the hell is this? Guys, this is a party.
My God.
Well, Hank lived on a golf course, so we'd go and run out on the golf course and we'd have a fun time. But then, like, the party would then evolve into, again, it would get a little, you know, the Chippendale strippers and the white powder or whatever. But
At this point, there were only 12 or so of us left, and it was well past 2 a.m. I approached Goldie, took her hand, and then guided her onto the dance floor. By this point, I was really buzzed, and so was she. We started slow dancing, and almost immediately, my hand started lowering.
God, seeing some like CCTV of Hank's dance floor at 2 a.m., that would be.
I feel horrible.
there's probably just vomit in the middle of it.
Yeah, there's vomit.
You're
there's
dancing
just a lot
on
of
and around
swaying.
it.
Yeah, there's a guy, having fucking panic attack from blow. You got all this.
Yeah.
Somebody could be masturbating. No one would notice.
No.
She giggled in response, which invited even more participation. We moved to a kiss, then another, and then even more groping.
Just, again, gotta find a new way to say some words here. Gotta find.
I think groping must have been a word that wasn't as weird then.
No.
Because he's mentioned groping a few times.
Yeah, but
Now groping is
like
just purely for sexual assault.
Inherently, like, pedophile, molester.
Yeah. I was
Context.
groped.
Right.
Yeah, back in like 06, I hooked up with someone last night. Oh, nice. Did you grope her? Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
Of course.
Yeah, she groped me back. Everyone was groping everybody.
Yeah, it was necking and groping.
Yeah.
You were necking and groping back then.
Yeah.
This went on for a while, but my friend Kyle could sense that I was way overserved. Dode, we really need to be heading out, Kyle whispered into my ear, trying to get me off the dance floor. Okay, in a moment, I replied and went back to kissing Goldie. When the song ended, I gently grabbed Goldie by the arm and led her onto the front porch. I suppose that taking her home was foremost on my mind, but I was really in no condition to do anything. So I stood there on the dimly lit porch, moving my hands in every direction over her body and continued to kiss her. Then, for some reason that now totally seems devoid of any sanity, I knelt down in front of her, lifted her dress, and then pulled her panties down to her knees. Why I suddenly figured that oral sex on Hank's front porch was all of a sudden an appropriate transition, I will never know.
What?
This all
the
I've heard.
syntax of that is
My favorite thing here.
needs to be marveled at. That's incredible.
I will never know.
Why
I've heard this story before. Kyle, our dad's friend, tells us many times. He walked out onto the porch. He looks over, and my dad is full on under this woman's blouse, just eating her out in front, like on a relatively busy street. It's not like a little back alley by any means.
I thought I heard front porch. It was front porch, not back porch, right?
Front porch.
Yeah.
Front porch. So facing, your
People
mailbox.
are still exiting.
You ever given a little goodbye head?
Oh, you think your dad's doing that in Whitefish?
Yeah.
My favorite part about this is we know my dad still plans to drive home.
Right, yeah.
Also, he's like, why I figured that oral sex was suddenly an appropriate transition, because you love it. That's all he does.
Yeah,
He eats
there's no-
women out.
That's his move.
That's
Yeah.
his move. That's his signature move.
Where the hell I got this idea in my drunken stupor to decide to
This was his kind of X-Men quality. He loved going down on women. And he's on his knees on a hardwood porch.
Yeah. We've talked about this where like my dad, this book started off with him, gingerly dating and trying to find, love again. And then you fast forward to this chapter and you go, what? We've lost the plot.
Yeah.
Well, you're the 12th person at a party at midnight or
At
2 a.m.
You're 50.
Logistically, though, I want to commend him. That's hard.
Yeah.
You're hammered drunk. You pull it up. Woman's standing up. Already a difficult position because, as you mentioned on the last podcast,
Yeah.
it's lower than you always expect.
It is.
Right.
You got to get.
You got to get in
under
there.
Yeah, my dad's it's kind of the like limbo position, and which means when his friends came and walked in on him here, he's
fully, yeah.
He's looking back at them. They're looking at the flipped for
Right.
He's winking at him.
Yeah.
He's crab walking.
Yeah.
Crab walks up to his friend.
Like hereditary, like
yeah, he's fully on the back.
Yeah. He's on
Oh,
the ceiling.
God.
It's almost like what you were saying, Anderson. He can't stand because he's got wobbly knees. He's so drunk that this is kind of the move. What else are you going to do?
He locked into like a solid base position.
Right, but
Do you
still
think-
wanted to kiss.
Do you think he fell and decided to go down on her? Like, do you think it was like he
Wobbly
probably
knees took him
stumbled,
out?
hit the ground, and then probably forgot why he didn't even realize he tripped?
Or he played
Tried
off
pulling it
tripping
off.
into head.
Into head.
Would be the best recovery of tripping ever. You're like, did you mean to do that? You tell me.
I'm going scuba diving.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. As planned.
Yeah.
Oh God.
You always
worry,
do
I-
hereditary, Bob, in this move?
I played it off. I gave her head.
But just as I was starting to get down to business, out walked Kyle, immediately followed by Chip. Jesus, said Kyle with a laugh. What the hell are you doing? What the hell does it look like I'm doing? I replied with an impish grin.
Seeing my friend pull back from going down on a woman and give a big smile, going, "What do you think I'm doing?"
It is a little, I know we've talked about this before. It's Frodo with the ring a bit, I mean, I do think him at this point, like you're saying that he's gingerly dating in the beginning of the book. Now he's kind of Smeagol.
He's getting corrupted.
He's getting corrupted. He's walking away from Mordor.
Goldie quickly pulled up her panties. I tried to continue the conversation with Kyle, but all I remembered was slurring. I was beyond comprehension. Chip stood there for a moment, taking it all in. Unfortunately, his expression went from, "You just shot my puppy," to, "You also burned my house down, took all of my money, and fired me."
His metaphors are horrific. That's awful.
It's kind of like generic bad things.
Yeah.
Also, how much
He also
power?
slapped me in the face.
How much power does this person have over you? If they,
Why was he that pissed, too?
Yeah, Chip's out here.
In what situation is someone going to burn your house down, take all your money, and fire you?
And fire you.
You know what?
There's like it's your boss had to burn your house down, take your money, and shoot your puppy.
I mean, that's like Tony Soprano, maybe?
Chip quickly left towards his car, virtually in tears. I realized this was the end of the line for me and Goldie. I gave her a quick goodnight kiss and thanked her for being such a wonderful dance partner. Damn, what's going on with Chip? I asked Kyle as we headed out to the golf cart. Dode, he's been working Goldie all night. Didn't you see him?
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate for Chip.
But to the victor goes the spoils. I mean,
Yeah.
How did my dad? I mean, I'll tell you, Chip was never in this race.
no.
Also, they were slow dancing already on the dance floor with 12 people in the room. Didn't Chip get the memo then a little bit that he probably was out of the question?
I think this works too. I'm sorry, it's 2 a.m. Clearly, if Chip has been working it all night and has yet to close at 2 a.m.,
Yeah.
Chip was never.
And she seems pretty open.
Yeah, I think she was like anyone else.
I love that he's like, sure they dance, but at least she hasn't gotten head from him on the front porch. Oh, fuck!
yeah.
No! Now it's over.
yeah.
Sure, they did a little dancing. Yeah, maybe I saw a kiss or two, but what's the worst? Oh my God!
Good God!
Chip seeing them groping each other on the dance floor, but he's not written her off
That's
yet.
as far as it goes, I'm
All
sure.
right, okay.
All right.
You're still in this, buddy?
You're still in
Chip's
this.
still talking himself up in the restroom.
Right.
Kyle, are you kidding? I could hardly see my own socks. I'm trashed.
He couldn't see his socks. He can't see anything, but he can still find a woman's.
He
vagina.
could. Well, I almost think Bob
That's-
at this point isn't really operating by sight when it comes to that.
No.
He's kind of got like a little bit of a heat
Batman
missile
thing going
signal.
on.
Yeah, I really
yeah,
do. It's
yeah.
like
Echolocation.
They're saying,
Right.
Before he goes,
He fell, and what he was really doing is creating noise to hear bouncing off the
the
labia.
vibrations went around. He perfectly mapped it.
Quarter inch.
And he's like, interesting.
Fuck.
Wouldn't have guessed that architecture.
Yeah, there was about 10 seconds before Bob's clicking around, understanding, building the map out.
1 centimeter labia. Interesting.
It's all Batman.
Interesting. Okay.
Recalculating.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you could get Bob, put him in a dark tunnel. You put some women in there, he's finding his way
Yeah,
out.
he's getting his way out.
All those
know.
women are coming.
Yeah.
That's it.
Batman, but it's just a guy who's just
That's
obsessed
Can
with chicks.
echolocate the clit.
That's his one power.
His Batmobile's just this like labia machine.
That's all it is. That's his wings.
His vagina suit. Vagina man. Well, this is one of the dude episodes for sure.
Good.
We'll get some complaints when we have too many guys in a row. Because
Yeah, when you've gone on to Vagina Man, you know we're on a male podcast.
oh god.
The wings.
The wings.
In his head.
He like rubs a little clit on top and they go,
Yeah. He's got his antenna.
That's so bad. Sorry, folks.
Man, though, I feel terrible. The boy was in total pain with his breakup, and now I gave him this Christmas present.
Merry Christmas. If that's the first thing he did when he pulled away from Goldie, he'd look Chip in the eyes and go, Merry Christmas.
Also, he pulled away. He was like, "What do you think I'm doing?" Like,
What do you think I'm
he
doing?
spit at his
Yeah.
feet. Grow up, Chip.
I know, Chip.
He's watching Chip, by 11, Chip is going, this is really happening.
Right.
I'm going to get over Sarah here.
I think the work I
Yeah.
put in earlier will pay off.
Yeah,
She's
you
laughing
start-
at my jokes, and,
Because that's the thing out of a breakup. You start looking at that next girl and you're like, I found her. There she is. There's my next girlfriend.
You're right, Gold.
You know?
This had so far extended past sleeping with Goldie.
Right.
Chip's starting to think he's already made it to breakfast the next morning. He's made it to give it a day.
He's
Call her.
projecting everything he lost onto her.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it won't be perfect with Goldie. Yeah, we'll have some fights.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's funny.
Her
because-
name's Gold.
And your dad's like, this pair of lips will do.
There was nothing I could do or say at that point as Chip had already left. I felt terrible for him, but I had a great time with Goldie. I didn't for a moment think there would be anything else that would come out of our encounter, and I'm sure that Goldie felt the same way. It was just a random confluence of two friends who had an attraction to each other, a bunch of alcohol, and an opportunity for some suppressed emotions to express themselves.
I don't feel like your dad's suppressing anything.
That's a good point. I mean, I think
He's incapable of suppressing.
Yeah.
he needs to suppress. I mean, most people suppress and you're like, God, it would really be great if they can kind of shed some of that weight. But Bob could have used a little inhibition
Right.
and some shame.
I will say, though, I feel like we've lost something in parties where it can get to that point of
Yeah.
two people getting that sloppy. Like, can you remember being at a party where you saw something that crazy?
Not at an LA party.
But in LA, everybody's worried about
I
what
think
they
in big
might
also
cities,
think-
people are worried about their image and
I
stuff.
think
yeah.
in the era of phones and stuff, that
Anything could get recorded.
yeah, and I think that even in that like
But I think that compounds in New York or LA. Like
Totally.
the phone thing, you even get more scared about your image and all that. So,
Yeah.
but I agree. But to your point, Anderson, I think a little bit of sloppy weirdness makes for fun stories, makes for a fun time.
this is what the 50-year-olds were doing then.
Right.
What were the 20-year-olds doing?
Because I feel like my grandfather would get down and dirty at parties. I know he did. Like we had this fountain in the back, and like there's a famous story of my family that he got so hammered one time. He's like, "Everybody come outside," and he gave himself an enema in the fountain.
That's awesome.
He gave himself an enema?
So he was sitting on the hose.
It was like a fountain that just came out, and he went and he sat down like a bidet on it. And
This is your granddad.
This is my grandfather.
Was he a bottom?
I mean, I gotta
Not
say,
on paper.
if I witnessed this,
Yeah.
So he was blasting shit in the fountain, basically.
Totally blasting shit in the fountain.
And you witnessed this?
No.
Oh.
This is like a family lore story that's been
that he
passed
gave
down.
himself an enema as a party trick.
Yeah.
I think he
It was actually my dad after my parents got divorced was like, by the way, your mom's father did this one time.
Just dragging him.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a couple things you should know.
Right.
I think there's some repressed something with the granddad. But you know what? That's fun.
Nobody would argue that. All I'm saying is people used to get a lot more silly.
Yes. Okay, well, that was Goldie. What do we think of Goldie, Anderson? Are you getting the vibe here with Bob? I mean, I think you're familiar with him.
I feel like I don't know a single thing about Goldie. I feel like
No.
I just know what your dad did to Goldie.
Well, he got the bat suit on, as we've seen, and he went to town. But
That's the other thing about it. Yeah, it's like that. It's just progressing. We find less and less about this women. You know.
well, we
Right.
find out a decent bit about the relationships, but to be fair, there's only so much you find out about a one night
True.
stand. So it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a few exchanges. How are your kids? Where are you from? But if it's a one night stand, not a lot of exchange. I think we'll learn a little bit more about this next girl, Bailey. We're going to move into
Bailey.
one more string of random here. And I'm looking ahead. I see another millionaire match.
Jesus.
So he's
Bonus
back on
random.
the website. All right, guys, we're going to get into Bailey, another string of random.
So my quest for the perfect woman continued around Charleston and online, with Millionaire Match being my primary site of choice. Usually I would set the mileage radius to 200 miles, which would bring in all major cities in South Carolina and parts of North Carolina. However, when I wanted to get a bunch more women to choose from, I would expand the mileage to 300 miles.
I'm talking like it's Game of Thrones. All 7 kingdoms.
Yeah.
Oh, is this? However, if I truly
Right.
Women beyond the wall.
To the north.
He's getting desperate here, and
Yeah.
he's starting to cover the southeast. I mean, he's like a traveling salesman
yeah,
a
at this
bit when
point
it
you
comes
gotta
to
go.
women.
Might need to fix something inside before.
Right.
And the notion of the quest for the perfect woman is very generous to himself.
Okay. Well,
I don't know if that's what we're
that's
looking for.
what
well,
this is.
there's your. That's a good point. You're pointing that out. The perfect woman. There's no such thing as the perfect woman. Further you are in your divorce, you justify your behavior saying, "I'm looking for the perfect person." Well, they don't exist. There's no perfect partner.
No.
There's going to be compromise, and I think he's just kind of setting up the playing field for a whole lot of searching, and that radius is only going to get bigger. So let's keep going.
This would bring Atlanta into play, bringing scores of new women into the mix. This made the task of sifting through women more time-consuming and a bit more tedious. The other problem is that Atlanta is almost a 6-hour drive from Charleston, and not a very pretty one at that. However, I was getting more desperate, so I expanded the search to Atlanta in a weak moment.
How weak can you get that you need to
Do you
expand
think
your search?
Each day that he didn't get laid, he'd like bump it up 10 miles.
He probably had a ticker. There was an internal clock.
I bet
he
there was a
doing.
tough
Seems
month.
like a guy who had a system for sure.
Yeah.
People do this with Hinge, but it's like more, you start going 30, 40 miles.
Yeah.
No one's going 100, 150, 400 miles.
This is when I spotted Bailey, a seemingly gorgeous 32-year-old divorced mother with a 6-year-old child. She had a beautiful dark complexion, a wonderful smile, and her bikini picture confirmed she was a total knockout. As customary with these online dates, we emailed back and forth a few times and then went directly to the phones. We called, and I got along with this girl immediately. Perhaps the best thing about her was her sense of humor. She would laugh at my silliest jokes and observations, and we seemed to feel the same way about everything we talked about.
She had a great sense of humor. She found me hilarious.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's she laughed at him and he's like, we hit it off better than
like,
anyone
wow.
I've ever hit it off with.
Clever
Well,
girl.
that reminds me of the woman, Diana, early
Yeah.
on. He really got along with her. She had a great sense of humor. They clicked in a lot of ways, but he didn't find her that attractive.
Yeah.
And so that was how he justified this wasn't my perfect match. We've talked about it before on the podcast. If someone laughs at your jokes, you're pretty locked in. Like that's a huge thing when it comes to
Definitely
attraction.
for a dude.
Yeah, for a guy, if they laugh at what you're doing, This is number one for me.
I could not have been more excited. In fact, I hadn't been this excited about meeting anyone since I could remember, so I had to temper my expectations a bit. It turns out that I should have tempered them a lot, as Bailey broke the #1 rule for internet dating, lying about her weight.
The #1 rule.
We all know it.
I mean, the number one rule is probably lying about your felonies or something like that. Like, I
Yeah.
think there's probably worse things to lie about.
But to my dad, this is the like. I guess maybe he was. I think he, had a vainness to him for sure, and at times he loved
It
being
wasn't
seen next to a beautiful woman.
It was not attraction for him. He was attracted to most. It was more the vainness, like you said, of being afraid he'd be perceived. Oh, with
As a
someone
chubby
heavy.
chaser?
Yeah,
yeah,
something
someone
like that.
who's- Yeah,
I will say, in his defense, he's dating the commitment of
Yeah.
these 6-hour drives now are way bigger.
I also do just love this thought of like it is. I think being seen with a larger woman. This is coming immediately after him being seen on a front porch of going down on a woman. And where he draws his line
Right.
of what is acceptable, it's like, oh, well, Goldie was attractive enough, so that's okay.
right.
I'm not implying that she was grossly heavier than her picture, but I literally had to do a double take in the lobby when approaching her. Yes, I know I lie about my age online, but to date, no one had even suspected that I wasn't my stated age.
What I love about this, lie if you can get away with it.
Yeah.
I lied, but I didn't get caught.
But I didn't get, literally that's all it was, is like, no one ever pressed me on it.
That you can justify so much like bad shit you could lie about on a dating app just by getting away with
Yeah,
it.
maybe being on Millionaire Matchmaker's another thing. She thinks that he's going to be a multi-millionaire.
Right.
However, there was no getting over the weight difference with Bailey. She was at least 25 pounds heavier than her picture, a difference big enough that she had to know it was obvious to me.
That's not that. I mean, like,
It's not make or break
no,
at all.
Like that's, I think that people fluctuate somewhat consistently.
It's hard to know. It's hard to know if he's doing a double take. It's hard to know if that's the Bob double take of like you said, the vainness and what he perceives, or if she is quite different than the photo. You know?
think he thought about just walking right by her, getting back in the car, and driving another 6 back?
100%.
It's not that she was terribly unattractive, for even with the extra weight, she was still a beautiful girl, and most men would have been proud to have had her on their arm for the evening.
Then why mention it?
Why? What is this?
If he's lying about the age, he can't get upset if someone's lying. It's not a fair assessment.
So, as shocked as I was, I figured that there was nothing I could do about it except either leave and drive 6 hours home, or at least try and have a nice time. One thing about Bailey was that she had excellent taste. She drove an expensive Mercedes, had on plenty of pricey jewelry, and her clothes were clearly elegant as well.
And we know my dad liked to chase a little bit of wealth.
Really?
Yeah, he liked to be
Well,
pampered.
this is
Interesting.
probably what's making him do a 180 on it.
Yeah.
You know, he saw
Yeah.
those Mercedes keys. He saw the G-Class out front, and then he went, all right.
He
Let's see
saw
where dinner is.
the pants were maybe a couple sizes too big for him, but they said Gucci. And he
Right.
said, oh,
Right.
so that shrunk the
He
waist
started
bit.
justifying it.
Yeah, Jesus.
As the evening progressed, it was clear as to why she had such nice things. Her ex-husband was a starting pitcher for a Major League Baseball team. They had it all: a huge house, too many cars, tons of clothes, and vacations all over the world. And then it ended. At 34, her ex-husband sustained an injury that took him completely out of the game. He then blew his career earnings on overspending and bad investments. He was now reduced to working part-time construction for his uncle. This was not the lifestyle that Bailey bought into, and she departed at a massive speed.
Well, we know Bailey's priorities. She was probably a Southern belle. She married this pitcher who had a bunch of cash. And then he blew it, and she got the fuck out of there.
And she's on Millionaire Match.
He didn't uphold his end of the bargain.
No.
Well, I just want to say, unfortunately for Bailey, she's dealing with a guy now who's, on a good day, maybe scraping 1.0001.
I hope she knows what she's getting into.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
'Cause
he's
probably
doing
lying,
the
too.
W Hotel. He's got the valet. Like
Yeah.
I never saw my dad valet a car once in his
No.
life.
No.
We were going parking lots 11 miles away to go
Yeah.
to events.
I truly did like Bailey, in spite of the little issue of extra weight, but we didn't have any of the chemistry that we had on the phone.
Rarely do you have great conversation on a phone and then end up in person and it's like nil.
Yeah.
You know,
I think you can have a little bit of nervousness up top where you're actually meeting the person and it's
Mhm.
like, we had some fun bits and this sort of thing. And there's now expectation. But I'm like,
but none of the chemistry.
Yeah.
That's hard to
Clearly,
believe.
when he saw her weight, the goalpost moved.
Right.
yes.
Exactly.
Suddenly, she's her sense of humor was whatever.
She's auditioning.
yeah.
We left the restaurant and then headed for one of her favorite clubs. No matter what, I was destined to have a good time. Having driven all this way, we eventually headed back to the W, valeted my car, and then headed for the rooftop pool bar. Per her suggestion, we did a shot of tequila, and then I asked the most important question of the evening: when do you have to be home? She then gave the perfect answer: tomorrow morning. This was a cause for celebration. situation. 2 more tequilas, please, I shouted towards our waiter.
It's funny, I've been to this W Hotel with my ex-girlfriend. It's funny to like think a few years before my dad was there hitting up Bailey, the ex Major League Baseball player wife.
Jesus.
It's a pretty nice night.
I loved it. After all this berating, he's still like, I'm going to get laid.
Yeah.
That's what's confusing about here, where I'm like, let's be honest. He was never going to get in a relationship with a woman 6 hours away.
Right.
He was always going to get laid.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry you got to deal with.
And then he gets to be like, the search continues.
Yeah. And I love too is like he clearly is attracted to her.
Right.
So I'm like,
it is the principle for him.
Yeah, it's the principle of lying, which is the bizarre part, that she still thinks that he is 38.
Right.
He's 50.
Yeah, because he's not addressed that at all in this.
No.
Because he's not usually he comes clean to the woman and is like, hey, by the way, I'm not my real age. She's not done that to her. So she's lied about that. Maybe he thinks because she's not her weight, I'm just not going to, they cancel each other out. But at the same time, I mean, it's hard to know what's worse, a guy showing up 10 years younger than or older than what he says, or a girl is a little heavier.
A decade's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
because
sorry.
again,
I think that's
we've
worse.
talked about it, like that's years subtracted off your existence with them.
Yeah.
Where the weight, you can just lose the weight, whatever.
Yeah.
You can get on a GLP these days, but the years ain't coming back.
But I think that's more evidence that he's just going for the one night stand here. Because you're not going to let somebody believe that you're 10 years younger if you're going to try to do anything long term with them.
No.
Moments later, we were all over each other in my room, tearing at clothes and laughing through the process. And I have to admit, there was no comparison to her online bikini picture, but Bailey had a very respectable body, and I was more than excited to be enjoying it. We eventually passed out, laying naked in every direction on the bed, and ultimately woke with hangovers in the morning.
He's still attracted to her. Everything still went the way that he wanted.
By the end of this podcast, you guys should have a scale of how he describes women's bodies. Like what the worst adjective is. So respectable somewhere.
Yeah.
Respectable's like
Leaning good.
Yeah. Because he does tend to get mesmerized by certain women.
Mm-hmm.
He can really hem up the adjectives when he really likes them.
He's described some, like a literal single part of a woman's body, it's taken him a paragraph to describe.
Wow. Okay.
Summing it up to respectable
Yeah.
is a bit of...
Yeah.
No, that puts it in context.
yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. It's...
We both were clear about the outcome. We liked each other, but there was not enough chemistry to pursue it. So I ordered the cars from the valet and gave her a big kiss goodbye.
And the whole thing where he says all the time, it's like we were both clear about the outcome. I don't think she was.
Yeah.
I really don't think she was. I think she probably was like, man, this guy just drove 6 hours for me.
Yeah.
And said, I'm looking forward to seeing you again.
Right.
So we slept together and had, sex in 11 different positions. He went down on me for hours. I can't wait to see him again.
Right.
I mean, she's
Yeah,
dealing with her ex-husband who's coming off an unsuccessful Tommy John surgery. And it's like,
Yeah, this is the first
she's
kinda...
looking for her next.
Yeah, Jesus.
We then parted ways, allowing me almost 6 hours in the car to reflect about my single life, the women I'd been seeing, and more importantly, the woman of my dreams that I had not run into. There's no doubt that I was lonely, and the drive back was mostly depressing. I had great hopes about Bailey, having been smitten with her on the phone. Could she have been the one? Clearly no. But I figured that finding a woman, as the case with so many other pursuits in life, was a numbers game. The more women I'd meet, the greater my chance that I'd find my special person. And at the end of the day, I was certainly having a lot of fun trying, even if I hadn't quite found a girl that knocked me out.
Montage of Goldie getting eaten out on the front porch. The search continues.
The search continues. Maybe this is the perfect woman.
Oh my God. So it really is a through line, him saying the search, like the search is the
perfect woman is the fatal flaw for him.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd have to look back in the book at the beginning to see how he worded it, but I don't think he was using the word perfect woman at
I think
first.
he's a little Odysseus,
Yeah.
that he's kind of, he might not admit it, he's enjoying this.
he likes.
Yeah. Home,
He
I
likes
have
the
to get
journey.
home because that at least gives him a direct throne.
No, Bob's eating the lotus flower, as
Yeah,
we know.
yeah.
People who've seen the movie refer to that, but he's eating the lotus flower. He's
Or
on the island, and he's kind of just like living this wasteless, listless kind of, as we've alluded to. That's the Strings of the Randoms chapter. I know what's coming up next is another relationship, so he may right the ship a little bit. Guys, we're almost done with the Strings of Randoms portion.
We'll get back into a little more
We're
love
gonna get back
side
into
of
more
things.
traditional stuff. I think these have been good guy chapters, so we've gotten the guys on these episodes.
And true, per the book, we're weathering a little bit of the Bob's fuckboy era. It's life.
It is life.
You're coming out of these things. He's off the Lori relationship. He's getting out of here. He's getting.
Well, no one in life goes from intimate lover of significant relationship to the next one. As we said, Chip thought he was going to do that. Chip was looking at Goldie. He was thinking, this is my next girlfriend. Chip doesn't realize he's got to scrape the barrel a little too.
Yeah.
This is the end of the strings of randoms.
We got one more string of random, and then we're going to get into a relationship. And relationship is Angela. I think I know who Angela is. I think it's another kind of woman with a child, if I remember, maybe a younger woman.
I think I know Angela.
You know Angela? Yeah. Angela, we're going to get into. Maybe she rides a motorcycle. It could be her, too. Maybe the motorcycle girl.
Child, no.
The Marine. Well, now you know what's coming ahead, guys. We got a woman with a child, we got a Marine. But guys, it's been real fun. We're going to do one more string of random, then we'll get into another relationship with Bob. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week on From Lust to Dust, My Horny Dead Dad.